Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the Hobby Lore Podcast, where we discuss all manner of wargaming and tabletop-related pastimes in order to educate, entertain, or aggravate. I'm your host, Patrick, from Bombshell Miniatures, and I'm joined by... Hey, I may want to turn your mic on, so who are you again?
I'm Vicky.
Yes, you are.
Pat's wife.
Yay. Okay. Well, this is our brand new podcast talking about hobby stuff. Mm-hmm. And our topic this week is we're going to be talking about Adepticon later in the show. So we want to start off by talking about our hobby activities this week. So that's going to be our first little segment that we're going to do.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about your hobby activities this week first, or did you want me to go first?
Well, I don't think that's very fair because you already know that I haven't really worked on any hobby stuff this week. But anyway, there's lots of hobby stuff I would like to work on.
Well, that's fine. You can talk about that.
Okay.
Tell me about or tell our listeners, one or two of them that will be listening to this.
Yeah.
Tell them what you would have worked on this week if you had time to work on hobby stuff.
Well, I actually need to make some progress on an entry I'm working on for ReaperCon this year.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to try to enter a entry this year. Because I didn't enter one last year. Pat had gotten some STL files out there that Blizzard put out for some of their World of Warcraft stuff. And one of them was one of the little gnomes. Yeah. Little gnome girl piloting one of their little cartoony looking aircraft and stuff. So I was going to do that initially, have her flying around in Pandora, not Pandora.
She's going to be awfully
She's going to go visit the Na'vi. What's Pandaria?
Pandaria.
Yeah, Pandaria, the place with the pandas.
That's it.
Yeah. So I was going to initially do that, but I kind of had some inspiration because you had gotten these other STL files of these little cool-looking xenomorph, fun little cartoony xenomorph guys. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do an aliens kind of take on this. So that's what I'm working on. She's flying her plane, and it kind of works because she's leaning back in the cockpit, and her face is kind of like she's
yeah.
So the xenomorph's going to be jumping around there from the tail to get her. So
well, and you've already painted some on this.
Yeah, I managed to start painting on it and mess it up. So now I got to go back. I've got to go back, and I went back and rebased it. So I'll just have to take it from there. I kind of went back to square one. And
so you repainted the base coats on it?
Yeah, because what I was doing for the shading looked atrocious.
Well, now,
so I wanted to redo it.
Were you were doing some speed paint stuff on that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Was that what caused the problem? Was it the...
Well, it wasn't really so much the speed paint as my my inability to use it well. So, because it ended up being a real large, smooth area that I was trying to get it on, and with a limited time frame, so I started having the blotchy problem.
Right.
I think some people call it like coffee stains. It starts because you start getting demarcation where it dries out too fast on you.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with speed paints or any of those type of paints is that over large flat areas like that, it's hard to get like a gradient on it. It's better for if there's a lot of texture for it to collect.
It's easier for me to use it when it's a lot smaller areas. So because then you can kind of do your blends before it dries out on you.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had problems with that, so I went back to ground zero.
Okay.
And so I'll try again, figure something different out.
Okay. Well, I've also picked up the new Monument Hobbies one-step paints. So I don't know if you want to try those, or if you're just going to go to like an opaque kind of a paint,
I'll probably use a mixture of stuff because I do like using the speed paints. But yeah, I'll probably be using regular opaque acrylic as well. But are those some of the stuff that you got at Adepticon?
Yeah. It's the preview set. Monument Hobbies is releasing their version of the Express color, or like that Vallejo does, or like the contrast paints, and they're calling it one step. And so they had like a set of 12 colors in that, and then the one step medium. So you can actually take this clear medium and add any of their other opaque colors to it, and create a speed paint to do custom colors and stuff. So I got a bottle of that. And they're supposed to be putting that on, regular release sometime in May. So if we get a chance to test those out before then, we'll get the jump on, everybody else that may not had an opportunity to get those.
So. Oh, those don't come out till then?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Why? You may have told me this already, but why do they call that one step?
Well, originally when Citadel had released their contrast paints, and why they call them contrast is like, I guess, because it's, it creates a shade and leaves, a highlight in higher areas or whatever. But they were talking about, you can paint your model, it's like one step to paint your model, but they named their paints contrast for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
So I guess Monument just stepped in and they were like, hey, you can just take this one step, and I'm doing air quotes with my fingers, for the listening audience. Okay.
For those of you, in the audience, because this is sound audio.
It's audio. Yeah. Now, we will be sending this over to our YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to edit a little slideshow that'll have pictures and stuff on it on the YouTube thing. So it'll pop up with, images of stuff that, as we're talking about it. But anyway, so going back to the one step thing, that I guess they're marketing it as like, hey, you can paint this area in one step and it's going to shadow and, leave highlights, in one step.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like their answer to if you zenithal and then speed paint some.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could slap chop or whatever with it, as whatever the kids are calling it these days.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, well, cool. Well, and I guess as far as hobby stuff goes, you were, that was all you were working on, was just or that's what you were wanting to work on next as your.
Yeah, I kind of want to get back to that at some point. And, but I have, we could talk a long time about hobby stuff I want to work on, because we were talking the other day about all those diorama.
Oh, right.
Diorama.
So there's some diorama ideas. Yeah. Okay.
Well, so there's lots of that stuff.
Okay. Well, we've got a section at the end of the episode for, talking about, hey, these are projects that are upcoming, stuff that, we're planning on doing, or stuff that's in the works. Then that's going to include doing what YouTube videos and whatever else.
Yeah.
Or just
and gaming
and just
whatnot.
gaming and stuff. Yeah.
So there's a lot of gaming stuff I want to do too.
Right.
What I know you worked on some hobby stuff.
Yeah, I did. I on Monday when we went to the hobby store, I took the first unit of Eldar Corsairs with me, or Eldari, since I've got to be current with the thing. But anyway, Eldari.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put together my first unit of Corsairs, which are the little pirate guys. And so I'm trying to paint those in more natural colors to go with my BL10 color scheme that I'm working on, which is more like, tans and forest greens instead of the stark white and the dark green like is in the, Codex colors or whatever. So
the picture that you showed me, was that earlier this week that had the color scheme that you were talking about? That looks really cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I posted those out there on the Facebook and the Instagrams.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's out there.
I'm still learning Instagrams.
Yeah.
So anyway,
well, yeah, because the more that you post on there, the better it gets. I guess.
Yeah.
However that works. Okay. So
yeah, that's some other stuff I need to do. More stuff to post on Instagram.
More stuff to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, and another hobby thing that you didn't mention was, sketching and drawing and stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the only other hobby thing that I got to do was last night. I started working on this Taurus Venator from Necromunda. It's like a little dune buggy. Then I had gotten a couple of them to go with my Astra Militarum guys. And during the Adepticon preview that GW showcased the like what the new stuff that's coming up for Warhammer, they have some new tanks, and they have this little armored car, and I want to say they call it a hippogriff, but basically it's got 6 wheels on it and a turret on the top of it with an optional weapons. So there's like a cannon and there's a Gatling gun and all this different loadouts for it. So I thought, well, what would be cool was, since they don't have the little dune buggy anymore as an official vehicle for the Astra Militarum, they've got now this new tank thing, and it's about the same size. Well, since all of my guys are like desert themed, I thought, oh, well, what I'll do is I'll put my little dune buggy together, and then I'll kit bash some weapons for the turret that's on top of it that look like the weapons that are on like the new hippogriff. So now I don't have to get the new hippogriff. I'm just going to put new weapons on my little dune buggy thing and use that as a proxy and say, okay, well, this dune buggy thing is what the hippogriff is, So, so what I did was I put the little guy in the turret, and I changed out his breastplate and shoulder pads and head and so forth with the Astra Militarum guys, so that he looks like he's armored like the rest of the unit. So I'm going to paint him up in that desert camouflage kind of a scheme like I did the other guys. So
okay, you know what I got from that?
Blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah.
kind of. And I'm thinking that's not a hippogriff, but ooh, I need to make a hippogriff to put in the psychic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because
I need to make a cute little hippogriff.
Right. Yeah, we need hippogriffs and unicorns and alicorn,
dragons and Pegasus.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Or Pegasi.
Pegasi.
I don't know.
Medusa.
What's the plural of that?
Pegasuses. Pegasus.
I think it's. I don't know. Pegasi.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay.
If you know, put it in the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell us what the plural of Pegasus is.
Pegasus.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much all I was able to do as far as hobby stuff goes. So,
okay.
All right. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little ad break here. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about Adepticon.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay. This podcast is sponsored by Bombshell Miniatures, models for your miniature agnostic games. We want to spotlight the return of the Scout Ship Terrain Kit. This model features a retro rocket ship terrain piece with removable top hull, playable interior, and articulated boarding hatches. This kit is lovingly 3D printed in FDM and resin to give the best combination of durability and aesthetic for your miniature agnostic sci-fi tabletop games. Visit bombshellminis.com to see all about it. Okay, and we're back. Thanks for that indulgent little sponsorship there.
Yay.
Okay, actually,
I'm glad we got the ship back.
Yeah, I am too.
And it's awesome.
I think it's really cool. I mean, even though it's a thing that I made, it's still like,
well, but I mean, it is, and man, I'm really glad. Okay, I'm going to call it the wrong thing. The new printers, the other printers we got that use the filament.
Oh, the FDM printers.
FDM printers. Yeah. There you go.
Well, you can call it filament printers or bamboo printer, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, those pieces, I mean, because it just looks like it goes together so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
and
when you showed me the hatches, I was like, oh my gosh. Because that looked really tricky, but it came out really nice.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the quality of it too. And I've just watching other people print terrain pieces on YouTube and on the internet, it was pretty amazing. And so,
I mean, they're lighter and stronger and
and better in every way.
Well, I know. Okay. Is anybody going to get that movie reference there? Better than every way.
Yeah. No, it's a cool kit, and it painted up really well. I did a little airbrushing on it and a little bit of sponging, basically, to get the.
Well, it looked good, the setup and everything. You said it was well received at Adepticon.
Yeah, we sold out of them at Adepticon.
Well, yeah, that's right.
So it was well received. Yeah. So
and we even had to print some for people when you got back.
Right, I had to restock it. Yeah, when we got back.
Yeah.
There's another little segment that I kind of want to slide in here before we get into the main topic, which is going to be Adepticon.
Oh yeah.
Which is stuff we saw this week. Okay, so this is a fun thing that it's like I like to take pictures. I took a bunch of pictures at the show, and those are going to wind up on the slideshow of this. Some of them.
I still need to look at Keith's stuff.
Yeah, actually, I may go and swipe some of these pictures. Yeah, right.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Well, I told him whenever he posted that stuff, I said, well, look, I'd like to share some of your pictures around, and you've got the setting on your Facebook thing to like friends only, so it won't let me even comment on it.
Yeah.
Because he's got it locked down. And so he went into the settings and he's like, well, I don't know how to change that. So it's like, okay. So I guess we'll have to sit down and figure out, how to,
yeah.
So he can get a little bit of wider viewing on it. But anyway, I may wind up going into his thing and swiping a few of those pictures to put in the thing because it's like they're pretty good. And he took pictures everywhere.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like he took hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds of pictures. He took
yeah.
pictures of y'all traveling up there
traveling
while
back.
you were there, traveling back. I mean, oh my gosh.
The St. Louis Arch. He got the Mississippi River. He got, it was funny. Yeah.
Keith's my nephew for y'all listening, by the way.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested.
Mm-hmm. And I'll detail a little bit more about his help on going to the show.
Yeah.
In the next segment.
Awesome.
Yeah. But stuff that I saw this week, the first thing that I wanted to mention was that little tank, right? That I just talked about.
The
hippogriff.
Not the hippogriff.
The not hippogriff. Yeah. And it's
That's not a hippogriff.
It's not a hippogriff. But it's a cool little armored car looking thing. And I've seen a lot of folks talking about it on some of the other YouTube channels and so forth. And it's like, do I want one? Yeah, it's cool. And I would probably paint it up in, desert camo kind of thing. But I'd still like to put my little dune buggies together, first, because I already have those. And I could still proxy them as the same thing. It's like, it counts as. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, the second thing that I saw was for Age of Sigmar, the spearhead for City of Ash. Okay. And so that's supposed to go on sale on pre-order on Saturday. And so it'll be the Saturday before the Saturday prior to when the podcast is going to go out, because I think we're going to post the podcast on Monday and we're recording this on Friday. So it's going to be,
and it comes out tomorrow.
It doesn't come out tomorrow. It's like they're going to put it on pre-order tomorrow. Okay, so what
Oh.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go online and order a copy of it, and then they'll take in all the orders from like the different retailers and all this sort of thing, and then it'll be 2 weeks before it'll ship out. So so there's going to be a little bit of downtime in between now and then where we can look at the cities of Sigma, the Sigmar guys, which is like the stuff that I'm going to put together, and then the Skavens.
Yes.
Which is what
yes.
Skaven. So.
Alvida.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. It looks like a cool set. And the first thing I saw and of course that, there's a lot of comments out there about it's not Mordheim. It's like, look, I get it's not Mordheim, but it's just funny that when you look at the picture of it and there's like a little ruined manor, with destroyed walls. It's like these little corner sections, and there's like little human guys on one side, and there's little Skaven
guys on the
other.
side.
It's just like
it just really seems very Mordheim to me.
It's like I
don't know.
We're not saying it's Mordheim, but it's Mordheim. I mean, it's So that was funny to me that it's like they're just teetering back and forth on whether they're going to invade that space again or not. So,
well, it's cool looking anyway.
It is cool looking. And the other thing that, we talked about was, putting together, this is something that I wanted to do, was like the 24-hour challenge, where it's like, you can take your Skavens, and then I can take the Sigmar guys, and then over 24 hours, we build them from start to finish. And then at the end of it,
you're good at that. That's something you like to do.
That's why it's a challenge. Okay. Because it's like, okay, well, you've never put plastic models together before. Okay.
Yeah, so I am immediately set up as the loser.
Well, it's not a competition, okay?
It's not?
No, it's not. We're not competing on it, okay?
24-hour challenge is very misleading then, because that sounds like a competition to me.
Well, okay, if it was a competition, it would be a 24-hour competition, okay? But it's a challenge, which means that can we put our stuff together within the confined time.
So you're challenging yourself. It's not we're challenging each other.
Right. No, it's your challenge to get it done within 24 hours.
Okay. So I'm throwing the gauntlet down to myself.
Right. That you think that you can put these new Skavens together in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I think, but here's the thing. Okay. See, like, I have a lot of model building experience, going back in the day. So
you'll have yours done in 24 minutes.
Well, no, that's got some other connotations that we don't even want to get into.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So look, but what I'm saying is that you'll have somebody to sit there and work through that with you that has experience. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, I'm having trouble with this thing. Or drive,
Well, that's because you're doing it wrong. I know that.
I think it'll be fine. Anyway, so
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so that's what I saw this week.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Right. Did you see anything this week that you wanted to mention?
Well, I saw that too, because you showed it to me.
Well, right. But that's not something that you would have seen without me pointing it out.
Okay.
So, and really the only reason that I wanted to point it out was because it had new Skaven in it. It's got the
name Deathmaster guy.
Crixit.
Crixit.
Yeah.
However you say his name.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's like I guess a generic Deathmaster guy.
Well, yeah.
And they're both really cool looking. And I mean, even like we were looking at them earlier this morning, some of the gutter runners and the night runners that come in the box, some of them are they're really awesome. They're pretty cool too.
Yeah, right. Because you were talking about the one guy that was like leaning forward, and
he's kind of leaning forward with one hand, and then he's got the other hand raised up back behind him with the dagger. And it's like, wow, that looks pretty cool. The way his cloak's going and everything.
Yeah, it looked cool, and I like the little bomb rats.
Oh, I love the bomb rats. You know, I'm all over
awesome.
those.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Get ready for a bunch of bomb rats. I don't know. We watched that one video about with the guy talking about.
Yeah, Rob the Honest Wargamer. He was
Yeah.
going over the Clan Eshin supplement that they
Yeah.
posted on the Warcom this week as a PDF. So I downloaded that and put that on your iPad. So
Okay.
that way you can take a look at it. You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was talking about those bomb rats. I was like, yeah, how many can you have of those? Because those look like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It does look cool. And so
I don't know how useful they actually are in combat, but they look like they'd just be lots of fun though.
Yeah, yeah, that does look pretty neat. It's something definitely to stay away from. That's for sure. So.
Well, I think that's probably going to be, to me, the first thing that popped into my head when he started talking about those things, I was like, oh, so they're like a unit of storm vermin. So you're going to run them around and everybody's going to run away. Your opponent's going to run away from them.
Right.
So, okay, get those away.
Either that or yeah. Well, and I wouldn't imagine that they'd be, you know, according to the rules, they're supposed to be like a token. So you just you just use the model as a token just to mark the units.
You've got bomb rats.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like you need to get some decon for that or something. I don't know what you do.
I would say so. I would say so. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So, so was there anything else that you wanted to talk about anything else that you saw this week that was interesting?
Well, let's see. Well, okay. Well, you had talked earlier about I went back and started watching. Okay. Well, there's something did I watch that again this week for like the 5th or 6th time? I don't know. But, Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Oh my
How many
gosh.
times have you seen that now?
I don't know, like 5 or 6. It's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it only takes like 3.5 hours. I was telling Kenny it's like him and Stacy need to come, and that's my brother and his wife. And they need to come out so they can one day and hang out, and we'll just watch through it. Because it happens at a Ren Fair, basically.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
And they're real big into Ren Fair stuff, or they used to be. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they probably love that, the jousting and everything. And it's just such a good story. I like it.
It's cool. It's a cool show.
It is. I liked all the other Game of Thrones stuff, but that has immediately kind of catapulted up to the top of the list.
Top of the list, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I
liked it.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to them doing another season of that.
Yeah, me too. They can't do it fast enough to suit me.
Right.
It's like, I'm already ready. Come on, more dunk and egg.
Yeah.
But so that's cool. And then, of course, since I went back and started watching through House of the Dragon again, because they're going to be having the next season of that in June.
June, yeah. I think we saw the preview for that.
Yeah.
Or the promo.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, yeah. Go back through all that. But,
Yeah, that would be cool. Catch that when it comes out this summer. So,
yep. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched, everybody's going to laugh, but I watched Ferdinand. Yesterday.
Yeah, that's the animated bull.
Yeah, about Ferdinand the Bull. And he's, well, I guess he's cute as an adult, but I thought his little young calf version was really cute. But I was mainly watching it for Lupe, the goat. Right,
because you have a sidekick character that you're developing that's kind of a goat sort of a character.
Yeah, so I kind of like the stylized way that looked. I'm kind of doing a little darker twist on it. I want to, because it's going to be a nanny goat necromancer.
Okay.
for the sidekick line, and so it's going to be kind of a little undead goat, you know,
uh-huh.
so not quite so cute as Lupe,
Right.
but you know.
Well, didn't ABBA they do a song about Ferdinand, or was that? Oh, that's Fernando.
Fernando.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's
You're
not-
close
yeah,
or something.
I got the first part of it, but okay, yeah. So I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Well, that's cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your sketches and stuff for that, and seeing how that comes out.
yeah.
So
Yeah, we got to get some more sidekicks done
Yeah.
for the
and there's
sidekick
another
scuffle game.
right. There's another little bit of hobby stuff that we didn't mention, which was getting back into sculpting traditionally. So
Oh yeah.
So I went through and busted out, and you went through like some of the tools for like the old sculpting kits and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, and we
Mm-hmm.
looked at all that and sorted out what tools we still had and what materials, bees putty and Fimo and green stuff and ProAcryl and Abe's epoxy, just the whole run of everything.
Yeah, and I've slept since then, so I forgot.
You
pretty
forgot
much
all of it?
everything
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
told me,
Yeah, well,
but
that's-
I'll try to remember. I know
that's-
you have to handle it a lot and get it warmed up so you can kind of mush it around.
Yeah,
So it's
wish it. Yeah,
mush, manipulated, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
That's more professional. term.
Oh yeah,
Mush.
right.
No, that's mush,
Yeah,
not mush.
bush. Okay.
But
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about our topic this week, which is going to be Adepticon.
Adepticon.
Now, Adepticon this year was really, really good for us. We did a lot of business at the show, and I was super happy with how all of that turned out. But
I was too, even though according to Keith,
uh-huh.
what he reported to me was that y'all kind of had quite a bit of a fright initially.
Yeah, we did, and I'll talk about that when we get to the show part. But when we get up,
The show part.
the show part. Well, because there's what I was going to say was the Adepticon for us starts in December. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean because
Oh,
it
I see what you're
actually
saying.
it actually starts earlier than that. And I was watching the Build Paint Play podcast talking. And they were talking with Sean Sutter at Relic Blade, who was my neighbor at Adepticon.
Yeah,
and
wasn't
we'll-
he right next
He was
to you?
right next to us, and
Yeah.
we'll get into that
Okay.
here next. But
Cool.
but he was talking about that it takes him like 4 or 5 months to prepare for that show.
Yeah,
also,
that's about right.
because it's like, well, you got to work on your new releases, and then you've got to do production, and then you've got to do packaging and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Get everything ready.
right, so that's the kind of thing that that I was talking about, where it's like, well, for us it starts in December or earlier. I mean, even like right when we get back from ReaperCon, which is in September. A lot of times we'll look at that and it's like, okay, well, let's start thinking about what are we going to do for Adepticon, and we've got a lot of plans for next year. But this year, going up, since you had decided you were going to stay here and you were going to look after the cats and do all that kind of thing, Keith jumped in and said, hey, I want to go. And so
Yeah.
he rode with me up there and was super handy to have the whole time. He
Yeah,
was
that
like-
worked out awesome.
yeah, it was great. Since he brought retail knowledge with him, because he'd worked in the auto parts stores as retail and management, and now he's doing distribution management, at the warehouses.
He
And
waited.
he waited tables and, he's done a lot of different kinds of,
He's
had
done
a lot of
of
experiences.
stuff interacting with people.
Yeah. So, so as far as like, us loading in and setting up and doing all that stuff, he hit the ground running. I didn't have to explain a lot of stuff. He knew exactly what we were doing, and he, I showed him the point of sale, on Square, and he figured all that out. And it was great. And so I didn't really have to, I wasn't worried about, is, something going to go wrong or whatever. So, so he was a big help going to the show. But so when we set up, and it went like clockwork, okay, because we loaded in. I mean, the trip up there was great. The weather was gorgeous. There was no traffic, you know.
See, I was concerned y'all would have like bad weather since it's,
no,
still kind of tends to be wintry up there.
Yeah. Before we got to St. Louis, there was a little patch, a little area that we ran through where it showered on us a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And that was it, and then we, it broke, and then we, went on from there. And so that was the only bad weather that we had the entire trip. Now, while we were at the show, it rained one of the days.
But y'all didn't have to get out in it.
No, that was Thursday.
The skywalks and all that.
Right. So we didn't have to get outside at all. So
that's fantastic.
So that was really great. But going back to talking about Relic Blade, when the show opened on the first day, we had everything set up, and because everything went so well, we set up early, so we weren't rushing around at the last minute. Actually, Keith and I were walking around the vendor hall looking at other stuff before the show even opened. Like we were ready to go.
Oh, wow.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So then, they came over the announcements. They were like, "Hey, it's going to be, Adepticon's going to start in 5 minutes," kind of thing. And so we're like, "Oh, I guess we better wander back over to the booth," So we went back over there and got ready. And so they opened up the doors, and just the crowds and stuff just started filing in, and this just a sea of people, stampede, right? And so we kind of stood around there in the booth for about 5 or 10 minutes, and nobody came in the booth.
Yeah, he said it was like an hour and a half.
It was like it was dead for like an hour.
That's what he said. And he said, "Oh, I was just sitting. We were sitting there, and I was looking at Pat, and his face was just really pale, and he was looking like, oh no."
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thought was going through my head like,
that was right.
I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to. Am I supposed
You've
to?
Done everything.
I've
you
done
can do.
everything. I did my best.
You did your best.
I did my best. Okay.
Best.
So I step out of the booth and I look down, and there's this giant line going from the door, the entrance of the vendor hall, all the way to Sean's booth.
Yeah, so that's because, and probably the same thing for the place that we had the StarCraft stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And those other things, everybody's like, I'm going to go make sure I get those before they sell out.
Right.
Because that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like I have to get this
so
the
that's
first thing.
What they had to do.
Yeah, so I totally get that. know, and it was like, but I'm standing there, nobody's coming by and looking at our stuff, and there's this big giant line, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Kind of a thing. And so we just kind of waited, and then after
the hour and a half, he said it took off, and he said it did not stop the whole time.
That is correct. We were on our feet nonstop all
that's what he
day.
said. He said, I was like, well, they went and got their stuff that they wanted to make sure they got before it sold out, and then it was like, okay.
Yeah. It was like, oh man. And every day was like that. And I kept checking my reports on the Square app to see, well, what did we do last year? What have we done so far today? Yeah. And all this. And it was funny because like every day.
I was really kind of amazed.
That I tracked it. Yeah. We were like 3 or 4 hours in.
Yeah.
And then it was like, bam, we've hit the number that we made last year.
Because I was like, okay, I figured you'd do about the same as last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping you'd do a little better than last year.
Sure.
But you did, I mean, it wasn't like crazy, but it was like, that's better than I thought you were going to do.
Yeah.
So, I was really like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was really surprised with how well that went. And
And I think the cabinets and the new setup had something to do with that.
Yeah, because
among other things.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that contributed to that. But but you and I talked about it like a couple of years ago when I came back. It's like, hey, here's a list of things that we need to do to improve our setup. And we still have a list of things that's like, there's other improvements that we want to make.
We can always keep improving.
Right,
stuff.
right. So I think that if we continue to implement those, that it's like, well, we're just going to continue to do better business at that show, and it's a
make it
great
better
show.
for people.
Yeah, but no, we had a super great time. I asked Keith. I said, "Well, hey, what was the one thing that you enjoyed doing? What was the one thing that you enjoyed the most about the whole show?" And he thought about it for a second, and he said, "I think it's getting to meet all of the people that are interested in the stuff that you have."
That's what I love about ReaperCon.
Right. And talking about, hobby stuff and just talking about things and seeing everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a big family reunion with people who, like gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, hey,
right.
This is awesome.
So, so we set up, Wednesday night, and then the first day was like Thursday, but Wednesday evening after we had gotten the booth set up, there was the content creators meetup, which was up on the 4th floor balcony area, which was just outside the hall where they were going to do the big Warhammer Adepticon reveal, they do every year. And so we went up there, and I met Tom. Well, I didn't meet Tom. Actually, I hooked up with, I don't want to say I hooked up with Tom, but I mean,
right.
Yeah. But, no, but we had arranged to meet at that to, kind of promote our other podcast thing that we are doing with Bill Thornhill, which is the Sculptors. And if you guys want to know, what we do on that, as far as like, going over, all of our sculpting things that we like to talk about, then go hit that on YouTube. It's the Sculptors. So we had our little T-shirts on, and so
can you link that to this?
Yeah. There'll be a link to the Sculptors in our little stack of links that we have down in the description, so you can hit that and check that out too. But we got to talk to. I'm just gonna do some name dropping real quick. It's like we talked to Brent, and I saw Casey from the Paint Bravely podcast. And so they were there as exhibitors this year for the first time, selling their little stamping kits.
Yeah, the stamping stuff.
Right.
I saw some YouTube stuff about people that, hey, we went and...
Yeah. They did super great business on that. And this was the
cool.
first... Well, I know this is their second year, because the first year that they did it was last year, but they were... in the Trenchworks booth. So they were all
just
together
like
with
their
Trenchworks.
first year.
This is their first year on their own as Goblin Hobbies.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So we got to see them at the thing and kind of talk to them a little bit. And I got to introduce myself to Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming and talk to him a little bit. So he's a cool guy. He came over with the Steamforge Games folks that were doing their new War Machine stuff. And so he was at their booth. But anyway, I also got to meet Arbiter Ian, who does all of the Warhammer lore YouTube videos, and he does the little book club with Miramanga. So he was there, and it was fun to get to meet him in person briefly. So I gave him, I think I gave him a sticker later on. Yeah. And got to meet Duncan Rhodes at the Too Thin Coats booth, and talk to him a little bit. So that was really cool. And it was funny because I was trying to find that booth because I wanted to go by, and I wanted to give him a couple of our little pulp guys because because on their podcast they were talking about Crooked Dice Games, and they are selling our pulp guys over there. I'd licensed those out.
Oh, okay.
And so I went by and Carl's son Jack is working as their engineer on their podcast.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I had a little connection with that. It's like, oh, I know those guys, kind of a thing. So in a distant way. So I wanted to talk to them about that. And so we were looking for the booth, and I was talking to Dave Taylor, and I said, hey, I'm looking, I can't, because there were no banners or anything, like most of the booths and stuff, they have like big signs and, it's right here and all this. And I couldn't find it on the map. And so we walked around the vendor hall like 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
And as we were walking around, I told Dave, I said, well, this is one of those scenes that you see in a movie where there's like people trying to find this thing. I said, we're living in this moment where it's like we're in a movie. And so then I told him, I said, well, hey, you don't have to help me. I know you've got to do stuff for the army painter thing and all this. So you're trying to get rid of me. That's what it is. You don't want me, hanging out with you. I was like, that's not it at all. Okay. So, but anyway, so we kind of gave up on it. And then I did find the booth later and I texted him the picture that I took with, and I said, I found him. Yeah. But I told him, I said, well, we passed by that booth like 3 times and neither one of us knew that.
If it had been a snake, it'd bit you.
It would have. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But but I eventually found that. And, so I got over to see, some of the gaming events and on the Star Wars side and over on the Warhammer side, and, the tables with all the terrain and stuff were amazing. And it was cool to see all the stuff. One more highlight that I wanted to mention about real quick was getting to talk to Nigel Wood, who's one of the guys that's putting out the new On Guard game that they're publishing from John Blanche. He's designing all the characters and the art and all this, and he gave me a little casting of one of the figures from that. It's the 54 millimeter game. Yeah. And
aren't they like vampires or something?
Well, she's supposed to be a vampire, but all the characters are all different. So so there's little pirate guys, and then and actually most of them seem to be kind of pirate related.
It looks very Victorian.
Yeah, it's kind of got that sort of feel to it. I think in one of the interviews he was talking about, he was influenced by like Renaissance Italy. During the time,
that's
yeah.
Okay, I
get
that
because it's a one-on-one dueling
game.
So so I got that figure, and I'm looking forward to putting it together and painting it and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But so once we got through the show and packed up and everything, there again, like clockwork. I mean, we packed up. I was texting you, and it was like, hey, look, all of this stuff's already ready to load out.
Right. You sent me pictures of y'all driving up to the dock, and then it looked like, I was thinking when I got that, I was thinking, oh, they've got a while, and then it's like 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, we're up here at the dock. You were putting stuff in here. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that went fast.
Right. And I told Shelly, because she came by and she was like, hey, she wasn't even asking me like, how long are you going to be here? But I said, I think we're going to be out of here in 30 minutes. And we were.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, so, that seemed to go really well. So
yeah. So we were out of there in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably the fastest that we've ever packed up and loaded out of any show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think the cabinets they're really helping out.
That's
So we need to do some more stuff with the cabinets and get lights on them and all that kind of stuff, and maybe either make the 2-sided thing like we were discussing, or make some more. But
right, we're
the cabinets definitely are a big help.
That was a big help, because we didn't have to, set up or tear down.
Get them all ready for you, and all y'all got to do is roll them in there and
open them up. Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
like they're almost completely ready to go.
There's still kind of a bottleneck with taking the display minis and putting them in the display cases and stuff like but there's no way around that really, so.
Well, that's kind of got me to thinking, like, how you've been getting those cases, and I don't know what you call them, those containers or whatever, and you're like magnetizing the figures and putting them in there. I'm wondering if we could figure something out like that for the display cases, and then they could already
where we attach them. The only thing that I could think of is that if we got some of that clear 2-sided tape, that you could see through, and put that down in the front of like on the shelf,
right,
and then stick the figure on it so that
so there's not a way to do like magnetizing it.
Well,
somehow?
not if you're going to see through it. I mean, because see, the thing
well,
about that
yeah,
is
that's
that
true.
those shelves
Well,
are
if it's on the bottom,
okay. Well,
I mean, who's gonna? As long as it's not something that's going to show up when they're looking into it,
Mhm.
is what I'm saying.
yeah.
But
Well, I
I
mean,
don't know.
we can look at that and
But if you already had them and they were kind of like, okay, it's not going to get tumped over or whatever,
mhm. yeah,
then you could already have that done.
yeah, it might be a way to save some time.
Yeah. Then you just take them out of the box and put them on top of the cabinet and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. It depends on how safe it would be for the minis, though.
That's
Because you don't want them
my
to
concern. Yeah,
fall over and get damaged or whatever.
right. So, but anyway, that's a thing that we can look at.
Yeah.
But speaking of upcoming shows, because the next thing that we're going to be doing is Pigment in Austin in July.
We're gonna melt.
Yeah, that's the only downside of it for me is that it's going to be like right during the middle of the summer.
Man,
you know?
that is just woo.
Yeah.
Peak
So,
summer.
but the cool thing about it is that we'll be inside. It's not.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's as shows go, it's relatively close. It's not much further away than ReaperCon.
Right.
It's because ReaperCon's about 2.5 to 3 hours away.
It's 2 hours away.
No, it's like 2.5 hours.
Okay. If there's excessive traffic along 380.
Well, you're right. It depends on when we can get out of here and get on our way. But going down to Austin, let's see, it'd be about an hour or so further than Temple, and Temple's 3.5. So that'd be about 4.5.
It's about 4.5
5
hours. Yeah.
So it's definitely within a day.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I'm looking forward to that show because there's a lot of folks that are coming over.
Yeah.
To come to that, and
that's kind of exciting what they're trying to do with that.
I've been stoked about it since they announced it, and it's really cool. If you haven't heard about that, go and do a search on, or I'll put a link since we're going to be there. I'll put a link in the description for it, but it's Pigment Shows, and it's July 14th, the weekend of the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the European show that they're trying to?
They're patterning it after Monte Sansevino, which is usually in Italy. Yeah. So there's going to be Europeans coming over to teach you painting workshops and classes and stuff like that. Kaha's going to be there, and she'll be selling some of her busts. She's also got a book that Dave Taylor published. He publishes the series called The Art Of, with all of these different miniatures artists spotlighted, and she is in one of those books. And she's got some, and she just won a couple of Golden Demons again at Adepticon. So so she's going to be there, and that'll be really cool.
It's neat.
Yeah, and we're going to be sponsoring a painting award for their little painting contest that they're going to do. I think they're going to do some speed painting or paint and take, and we'll have some of our bombshell stuff in that. And then I'm also doing a sculpting class.
Just one?
Just one. And then there's two reasons for that. One is I don't think that because they're limiting the number of tickets for the attendees, because this is the first year that they're doing it, they're not going to have a lot of people that it would require doing more sessions than just one.
Yeah.
And they probably want to maintain like as much variety across the schedule as it is, so everybody gets one slot. It doesn't matter.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I mean, and there may be other artists that I don't know about. There's like, well, they got two, or they got, I mean, I don't know, but from what I understand from Ray, it was like, well, we're trying to make sure.
Yeah, everybody can do a class that wants to.
Right.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So, very excited about that. So that's coming up here in a couple of months. So, oh my gosh, we've got a lot of stuff to do. Yeah. Okay. And so that wraps up our Adepticon coverage or whatever for 2026. And the only thing that we've got left to talk about before we close out the show is hobby activities coming up. Have you got anything planned that you're working on next? What?
That's tough. Like I said, I need to work on my Rippercon entry, but I don't know. There's a lot of sketching I want to do, but that's kind of for us too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of playtesting I want to do for Psychic Scuffle, but that's also something for us.
Yeah.
Or something for Bombshell is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like sketching and drawing, so I hope I get to do some more of that. I like to do some more painting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got 2 things in the display queue, and I guess that's something for us, so that doesn't count for my own hobby stuff. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to keep it separated when it's like, well, here's a bunch of Bombshell work that we got to do.
Yeah,
It's like,
but I'm still like, I still enjoy doing that. But I guess working on probably getting one of those dioramas that we were discussing started.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't decided which one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking about doing the tower because I'm a big fan of Skaven, and want to do the bell tower at Skaven Blight. I think that'd be kind of a fun thing to try to do. Maybe start that, or maybe start the little island castle village thing, or maybe some terrain for Hissington Ridge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some of that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have some STL files that I downloaded that are like little Western buildings and so forth. And now that we've got now that I was able to restock the filament for the filament printers, it's like any spare moment that we have where they're sitting idle, we need to start printing some of that terrain.
Yeah.
And
some more scout chips.
And some more scout chips. Well, that's not a hobby thing.
I know that's not a hobby thing. Well, it could be. It could be somebody else's hobby
Could be somebody else's hobby.
It could be somebody else's hobby thing.
Right.
I'd like to play some more games. I hope we can get the gang back out to play some more games. That'd be fun. I'd like to do that.
Right. Well, we were talking about doing the Star Wars D6. Yeah. West End games.
Yeah.
So, so we need to get together and talk with the guys about, when would be a good time to start that up. I know, Keith had worked it out on his schedule where he was going to be able to come out. So we'll have to put that in the mix.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad because I know he'd love to play too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only upcoming hobby projects that I'm looking at is I want to get my little dune buggy finished because I'm shooting video for that, which is going to go over on the Table Ready or Not YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Necromunda contest for doing Necromunda terrain that they're running. That just started this week, and it's going to be running through the end of July. And there's all these different categories. So I think they've got like 6 different categories for this. And if the listeners are interested in looking at the Necromunda contest for submitting terrain entries, I'll put that link in the description also so that you guys can check that out. But they've got pictures posted over on Instagram, and I think they've got like a Discord thing for it. But anyway, there's a bunch of different ways to post your entries for that. But I came up before I went to the show, I printed out a bunch of tiles and some wall sections and so forth of Necromunda style terrain.
Yeah.
And so I had thought about like, what do I want to do with it if I was going to do a project for that? And I thought about an 80s arcade. And so I was telling you about.
You were talking about that the other day.
So it's like
that'd be really cool.
It's a 2 or 3 level gaming tile, and it's all going to be like on a 1 foot tile area.
Right.
So I wanted to do it in sort of a horseshoe type of a shape.
Yeah.
And then there will be video game machines, and I'm gonna design the video consoles in ZBrush and print them out, and hopefully be able to figure out how to put LED lighting.
Yeah, with
in
the
those,
clear covers.
with the
on
clear,
them.
the clear screens,
that'd be
and they'll have
really cool.
Yeah, and so I've got to come up with like a bunch of different kinds of like game ideas, like what kind of game would it be,
Yeah.
and maybe like Warhammer style, like versions of like what that would be, and put those on the
like
consoles.
Warhammerized.
Yeah, Warhammerized different.
Yeah, Warhammerized
80s.
something.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that'd be neat.
So yeah, so that's kind of my ongoing project, and I've got I should be able to make 4 or 5 videos out of that. To document, the progress and stuff on it, because there's a bunch of different sections to it. And one is us, accumulating all the parts for it, which will be printing, and then going through the kit bash stuff that I want to do.
Right.
And then do all the sculpt part, which is like, okay, this is what I got to make to print. And then the electronics part of it, which is, figuring out, because I haven't messed with LED lighting before. So
you've got a lot of possible help. I mean, you can look on YouTube, but you can also pick Kenny's brain.
Oh yeah, because he did the Jupiter 2 kit, with all the electronics in that.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So
Ken's my brother.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at, down the road, and I'm sure there's probably going to be other smaller things between now and then that.
There's some stuff for Counterblast that I'd like to make some terrain for. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drive-in with the rocket bikes and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
Illyrians on little rocket-powered roller skate kind of thing.
Right.
That'd be fun.
Well, that's going to wrap up our show this week. So I want to thank all of you for listening to us rattle on about our hobby stuff for the last hour. And be sure and check out all of our other stuff that's going to be upcoming on all of our different sources, all of our different social media areas, and on YouTube and Instagram and all of these other things. So,
yep.
I guess we will see you in the next episode.
Bye now.